So today I'm going to be talking about Halloween. I'll be speaking about other uh, holidays as well, but today, I'll be speaking about Halloween. And should Christians celebrate Halloween? The answer is no. I know that there has been a lot of debates and et cetera, to try to conform to what the world does. But as Christians, we know that it's not a day that celebrates God. It's actually a day that celebrates the dead, right? And God is a God of the living, not of the dead. So where does Halloween come from? So originally the name is Samhain, or Samhain is the way how it looks like it's pronounced, but it's actually pronounced Samhain. And it was celebrated by pagan celebrators who will take their harvest, the end of their harvest, to the Druid, and the Druid with a wheel will spark the harvest. And the wheel was a representation of the sun. Back in 1897, I believe, yeah, 1897, they found an artifact um, in and it in France, basically, and it was called Trinuxton Samoni, or they called Samhain, sorry, Trinuxton Samoni, which means 3 nights at the end of summer. And this is where it was celebrated for these 3 days, because they believed that that's where the veil was thinnest between the dead and the living. So it was easier for the dead to come over to, the living and communicate with us, and the living to communicate with the dead as well. And, they used to feed the dead, and there's certain cultures that still do that today, as well, and certain still pagan religions that do that as well. So, that was a day to communicate with the dead. And how did Halloween or Samhain become Christianized? So, Christians used to be persecuted. Um, they were thought to be a sect, right? But when Christians will die, many Christians will pop up as well. Um, and it just seemed like they couldn't eradicate Christianity. So instead of eradicating Christianity, Constantine ended up abolishing um, putting a law to not persecute Christians with the Edict of Milan. So with the abolishing persecution, and giving Christians benefits, many people ended up saying they were Christians, not necessarily being followers of Jesus Christ. They were just saying they were Christians because they also wanted the benefits given by the government, like, land benefits, home benefits. So, as well, many of those, the people that were common among, um, who called themselves Christians, or some of them didn't even call themselves Christians, they were just pagan. Um, Paganism was very strong as well during that time. So in order for the church to Christianize the pagans, Pope Gregory ended up converting or compromising the pagan religions and Christianizing them, calling Halloween or calling Samhain All Hallows Eve or Hallows Evening, which today we call it in short Halloween, which comes from Samhain, so holy ween. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's anything holy about it. And then they also decided to do from those 3 days, right? Remember how I said the 3 nights at the end of summer, which they was the artifact that they found in France. November 1 was called All Saints Day, which was a commemoration for all the martyrs and the saints that were killed during persecution. And then November 2nd is called All Souls Day, which is just the commemoration of all the souls that have died. So I just wanted to go ahead and give you a brief history of the pagan religions that were Christianized. And I just have a burden where, as Christians, the light and the darkness does not mix. It also says in the Bible that we shouldn't worship we shouldn't worship what pagans worship, nor try to Christianize it, because there's nothing Christian about it. But we shouldn't worship those holidays because they're not for God, or our God, right? The Christian God, right? The one that created the heavens and the earth. So just wanted to give you that brief history about that. And obviously it's your choice. And some people try to, compromise and say, oh, well, it's just a fun holiday. As long, we don't celebrate it in that way as, the Wiccans and the Druids and the pagans celebrate it. You don't have to celebrate it the same way, but you are automatically celebrating it. You're a participant of it, regardless you want to or not. I was listening to I forgot his first name, but his last name is Ramirez. He's a ex-Satanist, and he was saying how Satan loves Christians participating or celebrating Halloween, because Halloween is not really God's day, it's actually Satan's day, right? So we have to remember how Satan will also try to make his day an acceptable day by saying, because he's a fallen angel. He's not with red and horns and a tail, right? And he doesn't look like that. He looks like an angel, a bright angel. So a lot of people, he's not gonna tell you, hey, I'm the devil, right? You're celebrating my day. No, he's gonna go ahead and try to disguise that, and to make it look like something that is acceptable. So just for you guys to just watch out, and yeah, that's just me going in a little rant now, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you for the next one.